They rocketh living rooms, shaketh stadiums, and sendeth hearts racing faster than an F-16 flyover at a ballpark. Few plays provoke more emotion and energy from a fan base than watching a player throweth down a big nasty dunk in a basketball game. Yet, like any high-flying aerial maneuver, there be risks. Sometimes a monster jam can turneth into a monstrosity of an athletic endeavor. From Mascot mishaps to double clutch disasters, the following players be examples of when slamming the rock goeth wrong. Introducing this chaotic dunk by Michael Finley in '97. Oh my goodness, the audacity of that attempt. Oh my God, they should consider awarding 54 points for this display. 33 points seem insufficient for such an electrifying moment. Failure is inevitable when exercise balls are misused. Apparently, Gary the no-trash Cougar forgot this rule. His attempt to launch into a dunk off one of the orbs ends predictably, on the ground, wallowing in a big bouncy failure, and nobody helps him at all. Now let's watch Metta World Peace approaching the rim in this failed dunk with uncertainty, seemingly torn between dunking with authority or gently laying the ball in. It's as if he couldn't decide which path his spiritual journey would endorse. A simple layup could have spared both world peace and then Lakers head coach Phil Jackson some therapy time, judging by the expressions on their faces after this failure to launch. Moving on, we have Allan Houston with the most bizarre alley-oop attempt, off of his head. The reactions from the crowd say it all. This was a bad dunk. It's doubtful he's going to win without. There was nothing special about it. Even I could do that. Seriously, what was that? A bruised orbital bone and a brief acknowledgement from the commentators were the only rewards cameraman Steve Angel received after LeBron James seemingly went into hibernation mode mid-air during this breakaway dunk. As James soared toward the basket, what should have been an easy 2 points turned into an unexpected collision. The crowd watched in stunned silence as the ball ricocheted off the rim and James came crashing down, taking out Angel in the process. It was a rare misstep for the superstar, leaving both player and cameraman to nurse their wounds. Louisville guard Preston Knowles seeks to grab some big air and throw down a primetime-worthy two-handed jam against UConn, but ends up brushing the ball against the bottom of the rim as he flies past the net. Standing at 6'1", dunking is certainly within the realm of possibility for Knowles. Yet even he doesn't seem surprised after coming up short on this attempt. Now watch this hilarious attempt by Baron Davis to fake a no-look dunk by poking holes in his headband. Right away, you can see he's having trouble finding the holes, turning the whole thing into a circus act. He completely misses the entire basket, getting nothing but air on this attempt. This insane move is aptly called the blind man's bluff. There aren't many rules in the NBA slam dunk contest, but one of the most sacred is no layups. Apparently, Darrell Armstrong missed that memo. In a moment that will go down in dunk contest fail history, Armstrong just lost the handle mid-air. Basic basketball instincts kicked in, and he tried to salvage the attempt with a layup. Unfortunately for him, there are no points for layups in a dunk contest. But hey, there's always room on the fail list for dunks like this one. Antonio Harvey. Speaking of that, Antonio Harvey pulled a similar stunt back in '95 as he completely lost himself in time and space. Attempting a 360 dunk, he missed everything, leaving fans wondering if he was auditioning for a spot in the next Space Jam movie. Ah, the dream of shattering a backboard with an earth-shattering dunk has always been on my bucket list. Imagine a two-handed 360-degree glass-shattering assault right before the buzzer to win state. But alas, this dunk was the complete opposite. Instead of cheers echoing through the gym, there were just a few half-hearted claps as the dunker wiped his shoes and proceeded to ruin a perfectly good backboard with a missed dunk. Sure, you can jump, my friend, but when you hang like that, you're just messing up practice for the JV squad. Maybe stick to layups next time. And don't even get me started on Nick Anderson's questionable move. Dunking and then touching his head? Was he checking for hairline fractures mid-dunk? Somehow he managed to score a 43 for this basic-looking finish. Maybe the judges were just impressed he didn't knock himself out with the head tap. Blake Griffin may have the hops, but his unconventional throw-dunking style can sometimes result in low success rates. In this specific misfire, Griffin tries to execute a dunk from near the free throw line. However, when faced with resistance, he ends up simply hurling the ball at the glass, falling short of his intended slam. It's time to witness Vladamir Antigua from Southern Virginia University as he demonstrates the consequences of taking celebrations too far, particularly when attempting a dunk above the rim. Antigua's transition from baller to a tabby cat stuck in a tree occurred in a mere 2 seconds during this post-dunk celebration gone wrong. A overlooked blooper from the dunk contest occurred during James White's attempt, where he lost control of the dribble not once, but twice during his run-up. It seems that while James White certainly had jumping ability, his dribbling skills left something to be desired. Who could possibly forget Nate Robinson's infamous 15 attempts at a single dunk? 15 times he sprinted up and down the court, trying everything as if he were alone in a practice gym, while the crowd stood there watching. This awkward situation dragged on for a full 5 minutes. It was painfully obvious that he was supposed to win that year. The dunk at the end was indeed impressive, but not after that many failed attempts. Oh, feeling fancy, Bron? LeBron James, known for his prolific dunking skills, finds himself caught in an attempt to grab some extra spotlight on ESPN's top plays. Unfortunately, he ends up clanking it off the far side of the rim. Apologies for the video quality. Looks like the head of cabbage used to film this might have gone bad. The mailman usually delivers with precision, but the package nearly ended up in orbit this time. Karl Malone seemed ready to shatter the backboard before something went awry, causing the ball to rocket off the rim and sail halfway across the court. Let's rewind to Daryl Armstrong's infamous blunder in the 1996 dunk contest, where the truth needs to be exposed. In this contest, players had 1 minute and 30 seconds to execute as many dunks as possible, with the overall performance being rated. Armstrong kicked off with an electrifying slam that ignited the crowd. However, things took a turn when he attempted his infamous dunk, sprinting to the other end and back. Despite numerous misses, Armstrong stubbornly persisted, growing increasingly exhausted. In the final seconds, he lacked the energy to jump, resulting in the iconic footage of him resorting to a layup, a rarity in dunk contests. But it's not just the contestants who faltered. Judges, too, have had their fair share of missteps throughout the years, and this contest was no exception. Philadelphia 76ers forward Maurice Spites either vastly overestimated his wingspan or utterly lost track of his positioning in relation to the basket. Regardless, after receiving a pass from the wing, Spites leaps too far from the basket for a dunk, resulting in him awkwardly throwing the ball under the rim. This blunder completely ruins the now popular throw-dunking style, reminiscent of Blake Griffin's signature move. This unfortunate fellow just couldn't catch a break. The Toronto Raptors mascot is giving his all to entertain the crowd with some halftime trampoline dunks, but he's fortunate to have escaped these back-to-back dunk blunders without injuring his Achilles tendon. At an impressive 5 minutes and 9 seconds mark, Dennis Smith Jr. embarked on a jaw-dropping dunk journey, way up, all the way down, and back up again to dunk it. This feat is incredibly difficult to execute, yet all he received was a measly 38. That's only 6 more than some missed dunks. It's insane to think about. This dunk also played a role in how Aaron Gordon lost the legendary face-off against Zach LaVine. Gordon scored a 47 for this move and still lost the battle. He began by cocking it behind his head, as if he was going to tomahawk it, only to change his mind mid-air. On another note, Serge Ibaka showcases possibly the strongest case of an underrated dunk as he flawlessly executed the perfect free throw line dunk, a feat even surpassing that of other players. Thanks for joining us for this edition of NBA Dunks Fail and Bloopers When Dunks Go Wrong. We've seen some hilarious mishaps and unforgettable blunders from the hardwood. Which one was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more entertaining basketball content. See you next time.